Hello, good morning. Welcome to BBC Breakfast this morning from Droitwich Spa Lido in Worcestershire. I'm John Kay. Nina Warhurst is in the studio. And here are your headlines this Tuesday morning. After yesterday's scorching temperatures, today could be even hotter, possibly as high as 42 degrees Celsius. That would be a new record. The Met Office has issued a red extreme heat warning for a second day running. There are extra ambulances and emergency call handlers brought in.
Good morning from a very empty, a very quiet King's Cross station. The hot weather causing widespread cancellations and disruption across the railway network. Passengers being advised not to travel. I have all the details for you.
Good morning. I'm at Chester Zoo, which for the first time in 91 years is closed to the public because of the heat. The city is in the red zone.
Good morning from Kew Gardens. Yesterday was the hottest day of this year so far, the temperature in parts of Suffolk reaching 38.2 Celsius. Today could be hotter, especially across eastern parts of England, where we could see in excess of 40 degrees, around the Vale of York, for example, Lincolnshire and the East Midlands.
Start with the front page of the Metro, which, as you can see, warns that we should get ready for the hottest day ever. The Telegraph makes it very plain. Record highs, travel, chaos, schools closed, and it's going to get hotter. The Sun says that Britain is melting, and a picture of a man from the Queen's Guard there who looks very, very warm in central London. The Eye looks at the reasons behind the heat and how our climate is changing. Their headline, Earth sends a warning. The Guardian points out that the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, has not attended crisis meetings about the weather. The Star has that picture of that member of the Queen's Guard being helped by a police officer, giving him a little drink of water. The headline, and you thought you were having a tough day. The Times says the race to be PM has been thrown wide open, and also has that picture of the member of the Queen's Guard. And the Daily Mail says that Penny Mordaunt's leadership bid has hit the buffers.
Here in Droitwich this morning, it's been a rush hour of a different kind at 6 o'clock in the morning because we've had people queuing to get some nice, fresh, salty local water here in the spa. It's original spa water that they use that helps feed this Lido. We're going to talk to some of these guys later, but the relief, oh, you hear them say as they get in this morning into that water after a hot and stuffy night at home in bedrooms. And if you've been suffering overnight and you've struggled to sleep, let me explain why, because we've got the latest data that we've just got in for you to give you a sense of it. At Heathrow, at Guernsey and East Midlands Airport at 11 o'clock last night, the temperature was 29 Celsius. Normally, it doesn't get that high during the day at this time of year, but it was 29 degrees as we approached midnight last night. That might explain why you're feeling a bit groggy this morning. It's causing problems for the NHS, as we knew it would. There are issues already with surgery has been cancelled at some hospitals. Operating theatres have got far too hot to be able to safely carry out work. There's a heat exhaustion service part of the NHS. The number of referrals that they've received in the last day is 525% higher than it was a week ago. And this time last week was quite warm, but 525% increase is quite something, isn't it? Fire services, we know in some parts of the country have been stretched to the limit. We're going to be reflecting on the risk of wildfires this morning. We're told that is a real problem. It's going to be a real problem. And here at Lickley, just outside Birmingham, I saw it as we came past on the motorway yesterday. The hillside was ablaze yesterday afternoon into the evening. That really stretched the emergency services, and they've got more that they're going to be doing today. Every time they have to attend one event, it means they can't get to another one. That knock-on effect is going to be really tricky for them. So that's some of the information we've had in this morning. But of course, we're also asking about how is this heat wave, this experience, this first time we've ever got to these temperatures, how is this linked to climate change, and what does that mean about the future, about what we can expect? Is this kind of thing going to become more often? Is swimming at 6 o'clock in the morning become a more regular event here in the UK? Right, we need to talk to Carol, don't we? We all need to hear from Carol what the prospects are for the next few hours with this possibility of temperatures in the 40s. Hiya, Carol. It's interesting this, because I know yesterday we didn't quite get to the record, but I know some breakfast viewers said that they had thermometers in the shade and that they were peaking above 40 where they were. So how do we explain that discrepancy?
Well, first of all, John, all the data hasn't yet been collected by the Met Office, and at the moment what we think is the top temperature yesterday was 38.2 Celsius in Santon Downham in Suffolk, making it the warmest day of this year so far. Now, to answer your question, when you have a thermometer and you're holding it up, for example, in the sun, what you find is it's the thermometer that actually warms up, and it doesn't record the air temperature around it because it's in direct sunlight. So the way we measure temperatures is in a Stevenson screen, which is a uniform unit everywhere. So basically it's at a certain height, it's in the shade, and wherever you go, the situation it's in will be the same. And that's why we can measure like for like, year in and also year out. So it's the standard, John.
I see. So then it allows you to do that constant monitoring. I see. So about the situation today, the message seems to be that yesterday was really hot, but we ain't seen nothing yet, right?
That's right, yes. Temperatures today are really going to shoot up. We expect it to be hotter than it was yesterday. And part of the reason for that is because we've had another tropical night. Now, tropical night is when temperatures don't fall away lower than 20 degrees. And for some of us, they've not fallen away overnight lower than 25 degrees. The final figures will be in just after 7 o'clock this morning, but that's what we're looking at the moment. So we're starting with a much higher threshold this morning. And of course, the sun's not out at night, but the sun's coming out now. And what you'll find is as the sun heats everything, the temperature will shoot up. And the places we're most likely to get in excess of 40 degrees today are Eastern England. So Lincolnshire, Yorkshire, the East Midlands, for example, are prone. 40, 41 degrees, possibly a little bit more. That will make it not just the hottest day of this year so far, but it will also smash the all-time heat record in the UK. Not necessarily something, I have to say, that we want to smash, John.
Absolutely. I think some of us felt sort of lulled into a false sense of security, didn't we, last night? We sort of got through yesterday and we thought, OK, that's that done. But then actually today is the main day. Carol, for now, thank you very much indeed. We'll check in a bit later. How much would you love to be in there, Carol, having a swim this morning?
Oh, definitely, John. I've got a lake behind me as well. Might pop in there myself for a paddle.
Let's have a quick look at how it is where we are in Salford Quays. So temperatures already at 23 degrees here in Salford. Very unusual for 6:30 in the morning. The record yesterday, 38.1 for the UK in Suffolk. And we wait to see whether 40 degrees will be breached for the first time here in the UK. But
good morning. You're watching BBC Breakfast this boiling hot Tuesday, and we're live this morning from Droitwich Spa Lido in Worcestershire. Look at it. It's like an oasis of calm and refreshment in the middle of all this dry, hot weather. And today we're expecting the temperatures are going to be even hotter than they were yesterday. So if you thought yesterday was stifling and difficult to deal with, just wait till today.
And just a heads up for you, in England and Wales more especially, it looks like temperatures will rise once again, not to the extent we're looking at the moment, but still above average. We're looking at possibly into the 30s, the low 30s anyway, John. So still a lot of heat to come our way.
There really is, isn't there? And you said yesterday you were still getting your head round having to give those kind of numbers on the forecast. And there we go again. Yes, I know. Never before have I ever mentioned 40 degrees plus in a UK forecast, ever. It just doesn't seem real somehow. But it is. I know. Carol, for now, thank you very much indeed. At least it's going to dip a little bit. We'll get some respite later in the week. We are having a wonderful time. Haven't been pushed in yet, haven't been splashed too much. This is Droitwich Spa Lido in Worcestershire, and we've seen people coming down here just for a dip to cool down this morning. We're going to get some advice for you just after 8 o'clock about what you can do to stay cool this morning. Dr. Mohit is going to be joining us. He's just arrived. You've got to see this, right? Dr. Mohit, please come in. We didn't coordinate deliberately. But can you believe this, Nina?
My
I
eyes!
thought my shirt was crazy, but I think you beat me.
I mean, I didn't get the memo, clearly, but I think we look good. Twins for the morning.
Twins are utterly predictable middle-aged men.
Yeah, very true, very true.
Thank you so much for coming.
Lovely to
We'll
see
see
you.
you a bit later. Have you
know
got
what-
equally wild trunks?
Do you know what's more amazing, John?
All right, that's it from here for now. Nina, we will be back with you a little bit later.
From where we're looking at you, we can't see the floor. Are you actually standing on a surfboard? Balancing well.
Yeah.
Oh, they've ruined it. They've ruined
My
it.
balance.
We know what to get John for Christmas,
No,
don't we?
sir.
The matching shorts, right?
Oh, yeah, the matching trunks.
We'll have to fish those out.
Thank you, John.
I wish I could, match it,
No, what a shame. Next time.
I know, yeah.
Some temperatures didn't fall lower than around 25 Celsius, so very much a provisional figure at the moment, and the Met Office will issue this later on when it is clarified. We might have broken that record too.
That's interesting, Carol, because I know some breakfast viewers have been in touch this morning and they say that their temperatures that they've got in the shade, in the garden, even in Manchester, I think in Salford, where the programme's broadcast from, were saying that their thermometers had already breached 40 degrees yesterday afternoon, and they would say, well, it is a record. How do we explain that difference in what you're recording?
Because quite often we just record temperatures in direct sunlight. You might have them on your shed, you might have them in the conservatory, you might have an anemometer or something like that, which of course measures wind speed, but you get them that measure temperatures as well. And you're putting it into direct sunlight. Now, in order to have a universal standard, that's not how we measure temperatures. We measure them in the shade in something called a Stevenson screen. Stevenson screen is very much like a beehive in appearance. We've got some pictures which hopefully we'll be able to show you of this at some stage. And it has inside it a thermometer, it measures dew point, for example, atmospheric pressure, all these things. But the temperature is what we're interested in at the moment. So we can, with compunction, using this as a standard, say that the temperature was such and such on such and such date and compare it to previous years so that it is an actual like for like, rather than me sticking it on my shed and you sticking it in your conservatory.
I see, that makes sense. So it has to be that sort of standardised methods of control. Carol, thank you so much for now. I hope are you cool enough there? You're in the shade, that's good.
Let me show you something, John. I have got lovely Peter, who works here, produced this. It's a fan. It's fabulous. Oh.
You get a fan?
It's my only fan, to be honest. But yes.
We're all your fans, Carol. We're all your fans. You've just got a mechanical one. I'd kill for a fan here. It's getting lovely and hot. So much. Thank you for now. We'll.
Pleasure.
Having a whale of a time. I'm so jealous. But we've got a pool, and we're going to use it.
Good morning, John. We've moved into the shade now because it is hot here at Kew Gardens already in the sunshine. The temperature is just over 27 Celsius. In Gogordan in Wales, currently the temperature is just over 30 Celsius. So those temperatures are now rocketing. We've just had a tropical night where temperatures didn't fall below 20 Celsius in some parts of the country. So we've got quite a high threshold. Now the sun's out, the temperature is shooting up. So the Met Office still has in force the red warning for extreme heat. Now these red warnings are very rare, and for this particular one for extreme heat, it's the first one that the Met Office has ever issued. So do take note of it.